Hello traders, and welcome to the weekly outlook and setups volume 80, which is the last weekly outlook for the year, because right now we are entering into a holiday season. The market will potentially not move too much for the next 2 weeks, and then potentially we're gonna start again during 2021. But still, as you know, we're gonna have a look at the market, how it developed this week, what opportunities did we have, what trades did I take, and what we can potentially expect for the upcoming week. Although, again, as I said already, the market is not expected to move too much, so I would really advise you to take a break and start reflecting on your performance for this year. Journal, revise all of your journals, all of your trades, take notes, draw conclusions, back test as well the whole year if you have the time, and start refining and preparing for the next year, because it's really not worth it to be trading during those times. It's actually been pretty hard to trade the whole December. The market was rather consolidative, but still I finished up on profits, and this week I made just 3%, had 2 break-evens on Monday, had a very nice win on Tuesday, and then I had a loss on Wednesday, and then I didn't trade Thursday and Friday. So I'm gonna show you the trades I took, although they are like scalps because the market is not trending pretty nicely, so I usually use the lower time frames right now. And we just released our new course and content to my community, so everyone is starting to learn right now to backtest and to prepare for the new year, and soon probably next year is going to be announced public, and we're gonna take the Fanatic community to the next level. All right, so as always, if you're new to the channel, it's all about trading. Every Saturday I share this analysis, the weekly outlook and setups. I will be sharing more and more content during 2021 about psychology, educational content, maybe some lifestyle stuff as well. So make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell in order not to miss the content. And if you already did, let's see what do we have for this week. Alright, you know where we always start, at the DXY. As you can see, we're having a pretty nice bearish week this week, so it was a nice trading week. I don't disagree. Euro USD was pushing very nicely, and as you can see, the DXY finally tapped into those regions. So I was actually looking around that area and it got fulfilled. So I've been calling this one since the market was up here, and we finally tapped and fulfilled that level. So from here on, it's actually pretty difficult to decide what's gonna happen because the pressure is really to the downside. We are creating a lower low, a big lower low, without a single week of a pullback. So possibly we can start expecting some sort of a pullback. Then dropping to the daily time frame, we can see the last 5 days. The previous week was just all full. I'm not sure if I took any trades that week, but then this week we started with a nice bearishness, then we continued, then we consolidated for a bit, and then on Thursday we massively flushed, and then Friday was just a little bit of profit taking. Then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame just to see a nice downtrend. So I believe I was looking for shorts on EU at one time, and I got actually a brutal win, but overall the downside on the DXY was just here. As you can see, we have a lower high right here, lower high right here, we have a lower high here, and we tried to create actually a lower high on Friday, but it was already kind of a little bit too late and the market had to pull back a little bit. So the market never turned bullish. So there was no reason to be looking for longs on the DXY, which is a mistake that I did this week and tried to go short on EU. So yeah, this market is pretty simple right now. Where is our major structure? So I would usually place it right here, but this week is way too big. So I'm just gonna take like an average, something like this, and this is my major area right now. The market is currently in a pullback stage, currently attempting to create a lower high, but I never try to call lower highs on Saturday or on Sunday because the market can just open right here. And you remember we had gaps that still haven't been filled. I'm gonna show you GU later that hasn't filled the gap yet. So many people tried to short the market in order to fill the gap, but this was wrong, right? So DXY, super simple analysis, guys. We are looking for shorts until we see the first change of structure. So far, we don't have it. And what I mean by a change of structure, potentially a nice impulse to the upside, a failure to make a new lower low, meaning that we create a lower high, a higher low right here, and then we potentially can start pushing up and to pull back to those daily levels and to even fill that gap. So this is still an area of interest right here because we haven't filled the gap. So if in any case, if the market starts to create higher lows and higher highs, then the target will be the gap and the 91 key level. All right, so that's the DXY, perfectly bearish. Let's see what do we have for EU. Euro USD weekly time frame, as you can see, a very nice bullish candle to the upside. So we had a pretty bullish week on EU, and my target was finally fulfilled, which was 22,500. Why? Because it stems from right here where the actual move started, and we just fulfilled it this week. So right now, again, very similar to the DXY, we can start expecting some sort of a rebound from all of those levels, but potentially you can even go to the daily time frame to identify potential supply and demand areas right here, or potential levels that the market can reverse from. But I don't trade like this. I'm gonna be looking for the market structure shift. All right, so knowing that the weekly time frame is in a very strong push phase, what do we need? We need a pullback. On the daily time frame, I was actually looking for a bigger pullback, potentially around that area, which still hasn't been retraced to. All right, so we can definitely expect a bigger pullback on EU, but what we had this week is a push, pullback, higher low formation. So why do we look for shorts? And then we had 5 days since the 14th of December, actually 4 days of bullishness, and then Friday was just a little bit of a profit taking day. Another level to be mindful of is around this one, which is going to be seen on the 4-hourly time frame, and which was actually retested, but it's still a daily level to be looking for. Then on the 4-hourly time frame, what we see is all of that consolidation. So I can go right now to actually show you my shorts, and the one that I attempted to take, that was break even, then the other one that I took, but it's gonna take too much time because it's actually on a super low time frame, on the 5-minute and even on the 1-minute. But if I just try to quickly spot, like there was a massive flush that I took, probably this one. Yeah, it was exactly this one. So this is pretty simple. So we actually implement a new concept into our strategies, but this is still the 2.0 strategy that we use. As you can see, just combined with a little bit of manipulation, a little bit of spike, which was actually a manipulation above the Asia high. So this is your Asia high right here. The market tapped above it, introduced the liquidity, and then all we need is a pullback. So I got in right here, actually a little bit on the top right here, and I wrote it down into this supportive level right here for, I don't remember what it was around 1 to 6, I believe. So I made 6% on that one. And yeah, so this was one of my trades on EU. Then I attempted to take another short, which was, and I didn't take my profit. So this was from right here. So this is Monday. What I spotted right here is the market starting to compress. Then we strongly run into the upside. We showed the momentum, and this was actually a 3-minute trade, which I took from right here. Then I rode it to the downside, and it was a 1 to 4 right here into that supportive level. But again, guys, I am still a person. I experienced greed at this moment in time. I thought, okay, it's Monday and the market is going to continue to push down. And I didn't lock in, so I just locked in break even, but I didn't lock in any profits. And then as you can see, 10 o'clock, the market started to pump to the upside, stopped me out of break even. Then it pushed still down to my overall targets that I targeted. But again, this was a break even trade. So this is EU. As I told you, I've been just scalping the market out. Learning new stuff as well and introducing new stuff to my community. So right now, what do we have? We have a perfect uptrend. Right now, where is our major high? Low, I should say. Well, yeah, you see that big wick. This was the interest rate decision from the FOMC. So I'm gonna put this line right here, which is our major structure. We have a potential retest area right here, this level. And right now, the market is just tapping the full hourly EMA and attempting to create a higher low formation. So I want to see how the market is gonna react to this resistance. Is it gonna break above, or is it gonna resist? On the hourly time frame, we are still bullish. Nothing has changed. We actually had a beautiful short opportunity right here on EU, which I'm not gonna go into, but it tapped into a supply and demand area, broke out again Asia highs, and then we push to the downside. So right now on EU, let's wait for Monday. Again, this is more of a review this week, not much, because we don't expect too much movement for next week. So overall, I am still long. If I don't see a break, retest, and continuation to the downside, I will not change my bias to shorts if it's just not an intraday trade. All right, so that is EU. Keep note of those levels, and let's see how the market is gonna develop. Next on the list is Euro JPY weekly time frame. So although we're having a kind of a bullish week, this price action was completely ridiculous, and what I was expecting on this one is actually a bigger pullback, because it hasn't been revisited. Those levels right here, we just had a push. This was indecision candle, and I actually expected the market to create a bearish candle to the downside for a little bit of a pullback for an EMA tap, but no, the market just stayed into that consolidation. So I personally think that the market will be hunting those highs right here, because there is a lot of liquidity above. But what I spotted actually right now on Friday, I'm just gonna show you. So daily time frame, look at that. So since the 2nd of December, this has been 16 days. The market has been consolidated right here. It's overall bullish, but it has to pull back, guys. Where? Potentially around those areas right here, somewhere around here, possibly this week. Can get retested, possibly it can go even lower right here, because if you spot where your major high low on the daily is, and then you drop your FIP like this, then you can expect potentially 61.8, 50% around those areas to get fulfilled. All right. Then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, which was interesting on Friday. Have a look at all of that consolidation. If I take the highs of the wicks and the lows of the wicks, have a look what happened right here during London on Monday. We spiked above all of those resistance levels. We didn't tap into that red line that you see, which was the highest point on the weekly time frame, but we nicely spiked above, retraced lower, and right now I feel that the market is kind of in a reversal stage because it faked out above. It can possibly create another leg up, but I don't believe so. So actually on EURJPY, there is nothing to be traded right now, because when you open your chart, what do you see? Consolidation. Do we trade consolidations? Not really. If you want to trade consolidations, you have to go to analyze on the 30-minute, on the 15-minute to really spot some minor structure, something like this. For example, this is your minor structure right here. You have tap into support, you have a break of structure, and you have a retest, most recent. All right, this is a higher low, so you can take a long. And then you can continue with this one until you see a break of structure, which is still a strategy that we trade, but it's like very low probability in a consolidation phase. So right now what I expect, again, if I just delete that consolidation after I introduce my point, we have this higher low. So I want to see how the market is going to manage in between those levels, and are we going to break? And if we break, then I would expect some downside on EJ. And if EJ starts to push down, then possibly EU is going to follow, or if EU is going to start pushing down, EJ is going to follow. So pretty curious to see what's going to happen. Are we going to create another fake above this one and to potentially tap that level, which is 127, which was fulfilled? All right, so right now I believe the market will create a little bit more structure right here, then break to the downside, retest, and then we can see some downside. So let's see if that's gonna happen. Euro Aussie weekly time frame, as you can see, a little indecision candle this week. Really no price action to work with. Going to the daily time frame, you're working with this, just a cluster of price after a flush to the downside. So overall bias is short, but again, the market needs a little bit of a pullback, and it just keeps throwing wicks, keeps manipulating. So right here we got some introduction of bullishness, and we thought, okay, well, maybe we're gonna have a pullback around that area for potential longs. The market gave a very deep pullback right here, tried to push higher but failed, and then it created a lower low. All right, so then we start shifting to shorts, but then the market pushes very strongly up, creates some sort of a double top, and it's basically just ridiculous price action. So no trades are taken on this one. I believe actually this one to be a fake. And why is it a fake? So if you have been watching my videos, you know that I always say, if you're looking for a break of structure, wait for the market to stay a little bit below and then come back. So, and don't go for this. So for example, the market pushing down and immediately coming back in, because this is your fake out right now. This is definitely has the characteristics of a fake out. And if you mark your lowest low right here, the market just spiked below and reversed. All right. So right now, again, where is our major structure? Well, I would just take the average like this. Again, yeah, this line is too thin. So something like that. We have this one as well, but this one is like more of a support and resistance level right now, because this is our major structure. This is our major low, and we have this push and a potential pullback. So more or less, it kind of starts looking like longs, and knowing where the daily time frame is, I would really love to see this one push a little bit to the upside to potentially come in and retest. Possibly this little supply and demand area can be a potential target. So if I see a structural shift on Euro Aussie, then I would expect the upside. So this is my little analysis on EA. Not a pretty nice tradable pair. Why? Because it's a combination of Euro USD and Aussie USD, and both of them are just pushing up, and then this one ends up consolidating. And this is why I don't like Euro Aussie and Euro GBP as well. So let's see what's gonna happen on this one. Next on the list are the Aussies. Let's have a look at Aussie USD. So as you can see, super bullish market of quite a few weeks of bullish price action, 42 days, not sure how many weeks this is, but it's extremely bullish and it keeps pushing up. Daily time frame market structure is perfectly to the upside, creating higher lows and higher highs. And actually right here we impulsed very strongly. I was expecting a little bit of a pullback, something like this, but the market just created 2 wicks right here, and then it ended up pushing very strongly to the upside. So again, extremely bullish market. Last higher low is right here on the daily. Then on the 4 hourly, it was a little bit tricky right here. I believe this is Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday actually. The market showed a little bit of a break, but did it really break below right here? No, it just grabbed the liquidity, which was staying below this low right here. I was expecting potentially a retest of that area, maybe even lower, but no. Then the market showed this push and this pullback, and this was the only trade I believe my community took, because it was Asian session. Let me just check again. Yes, exactly, it was Asian session. But what do we have again? We have the fake below, we have the introduction of pressure with a break of structure on the left. If you have a look, the major structure right here on the hourly was broken, perfectly retested. We're showing the signs right here that the market is reversing, and as always, our systematic entries right here. So the overall broken structure, as you can see right here, this is your last lower high, failure to break below, impulse to the upside, EMA confluence and everything. So the trade was taken from right here. As always, the stop loss is safely below, and our take profit is always measured in order to be as systematic as possible. And this was a nice 1-to-4 during Asian session. As you can see how accurate this one is. Like, if the setup is gonna play out, it's gonna play out to perfection. So this one was a pretty nice trade on AU. And then I informed my team that we had quite some news, and as you can see, we spiked again above that level, below, and then we started to reverse very strongly, making it super hard to actually get in a trade, because you can see even the 15-minute is super strong, and not to say hourly pullbacks or even full hourly pullbacks. Then we made the high, consolidated, pulled back, and then this price action is overall ridiculous. So pretty nice trades on Aussie USD right here that I'm sure a member of my community took. Right now, again, what do we have? Very nice analysis right here. We have the high, which is our high, and we have our low. Actually, you can see that there is a very nice support and resistance level right here. Resistance, nice break and pullback, which is actually in confluence with the creation of a higher low. And if we drag good old FIP, it is a 61.8% zone as well. So very nice higher low to be trading for right here. What I want to see right now on Aussie is how it's going to develop. Are we going to continue to break above, or are we going to break below that level? And if this level gets broken below, then we can start expecting some bigger downside, because this market has been trending up for quite some time and it needs some sort of a reversal. Possibly, yeah, something like this. I would love to see something like this, like at least 1 week of bearishness, but it's not providing anything. So again, let's monitor the 4-hourly time frame. Let's see how the market is going to develop, and potentially if we have a break and a retest, we can start taking some shorts. But again, I just analyzed like next week is going to be a normal week, but no trades will be taken. So this one, if you remember from the previous outlook, I called some fake outs below, but the market never faked below. It just created that consolidation. Then we had a little bit of a shift right here, but dropping to the hourly time frame, you see all of those wicks. You see all of that like manipulation, lack of liquidity is just not moving as I wanted to move. And no trades were taken on this one. And actually, if I try to analyze it, it's super hard. And usually when I open this chart and when I just see this, what I'm going to say, consolidation. Just drop your rectangle and just wait for some clearer structure to develop. All right. So there's no point in losing time to analyze AJ. It's clear that it's in the consolidation. What I'm waiting for is for a clear introduction. Possibly, yes, you can really zoom in to identify where is your most recent higher low. And if this one gets broken, potentially retested, we can definitely target the lows. So this can be something that can develop. But again, next week is a not tradable week. So be careful if you are going to trade. Let's have a look at the NZDs. NZD/USD, exactly the same as the Aussie, just been pumping to the upside without a stop, without a single bearish candle on the weekly time frame. So definitely all of us are waiting for a pullback, but as many people start shorting the market, the institutions will keep pushing it up. So if you just zoom out a little bit, possibly the market is hunting like the first level that I will be targeting is this wick that actually got fulfilled this week, 71,500. Then potentially we can spike a little bit more to the upside into the last bullish candle right here, which is a nice supply and demand area, which is how much is that? Yeah, around 150 pips more to the upside. So let's see how it's gonna develop. Then dropping to the daily time frame, the market is perfectly bullish, and we have a major structure being created right here on the daily, and then a very minor structure right here as well. As you can see how we broke and retested those wicks, which is again structure with EMA confluence. Then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, you see that we had some pretty fancy structure right here. So we opened 14th of December and we pushed to the downside, and so I consider this to actually be a break. And I was like, okay, maybe we can see some shorts into the next day. So I was looking into this level right here. And if I just drop to the hourly time frame, you can see that the market rejected from that area, this bearish engulf. And actually, if I refine this one, this was the area that I was looking for, this last bearish candle. And then I dropped to the 5-minute or even to the lower time frames. Let me see where I got in. Yes, I actually got in right here on that push because I considered this to be the manipulation. Then London opened right here, Frankfurt, so I got in right here, somewhere right here. It was actually even on a lower time frame, stop loss above, and then I was potentially targeting the lows because I thought that we were gonna have a bearish day. The market nicely pushed down, pulled back, then broke structure. I didn't secure my trade at break even, so I'm honest right here, I didn't secure. I jumped on a live session in my community, and then the market stopped me out, and then we actually had the reversal. So my timing was a little bit off, or I was just like a little bit too early, which is fine. But I had this loss right here. And overall, again, if I just zoom in again, the market is trending up. So why taking shorts from right here? Well, I was expecting that reversal, right? Which happened, but that FOMC, huge spike to the downside, and we strongly impulsed up, actually fulfilling that hard time frame level. So this was my mistake on NZD/USD. Right now, what are we doing? Perfectly up, higher low formation. We have our higher high as always. Right now, the market is in the middle. So a few scenarios that we might have, actually quite a few. Market might retrace and continue up. The market might push into the highs and reverse. The market might consolidate, fake below, and push back up. So a level that I will be monitoring is this one, this last bearish candle right here. This is a pretty nice supply and demand area. So what the market can do at the beginning of the week is it can spike and then reverse to the upside. So again, guys, don't trade too hard this week. It's really not worth it to be trading because we're entering into this holiday season, and liquidity will be low, volume will be low. So it's definitely not worth it. I would much prefer to go back testing rather than trading, but NZD/USD perfectly to the upside. So let's see what happens. On NZD/JPY, I called something which was very nicely developed. It was this level right here. Again, consolidation, and this was actually a pretty nice picture perfect trade and setup that we trade. Consolidation right here, nice spike exactly into that area, and then we reversed. But I didn't take this one because I usually don't monitor NZD/JPY, and knowing what conditions are currently this markets, like the overall JPY markets, you see Euro JPY, Aussie JPY, NZD/JPY, it is just not tradable for me. But this was pretty nice, fulfilled this empty space right here, tap, nice reversal. And right now, actually, if you have a look, we're kind of starting to shift the structure. We had a push, kind of pullback, retesting all of those structures right here. So potentially we can have even a break of this one. But again, zoom out a little bit. What are we trading currently into? Some madness, some consolidation. So this one was a nice kind of intraday, intra-consolidation trade. But again, I do expect longs because overall, if you have a look at the structure, we're trading to the upside. So possibly a little spike below right here can take us to the upside. And with the bullish bias of the NZD/USD, we can definitely go up. So let's see how those ones are going to develop. But again, guys, be careful. Let's have a look at some USDs, but the situation is boring here, starting from USD/JPY. Yes, we have a pretty nice bearish week right here, but no clear opportunities were provided. And as you can see, we started with a nice flush to the downside, actually taking out those lows, and I thought that we're gonna reverse, but then the market bearish, pullback, bearish, and then on Friday we had some profit taking, so there were no longs. Overall, yeah, I considered this to be a fake and for a potential reversal. Then I was looking for long trades right here, but the market never provided, and this is why we have our entry criteria. So we just don't like press buy or something like that. This was just an equal lower high, and what I usually expect after an equal lower high is some sort of a head and shoulders. If I just grab my brush, left shoulder head, and I was expecting the right shoulder to come in somewhere and then start to reverse, but this never happened. And what we did, we flushed to the downside, created a lower low, FOMC, huge spike to the upside, another lower low, and right now we are just staying at another lower high that was just created right here. So again, guys, super simple. We're looking for sales, zero signs of a reversal. A sign for reversal will be a clear break of a higher low, a lower high, a creation of a new higher low, which will be this structure right here, and then potentially we can start pumping to the upside. But right now, this is a lower high. Let's see how the market is going to react to it. Possibly we can have the market push into that level a little bit to create a double top, then to show us some signs on the 15-minute right here. Right here, there was really not a pretty nice trade. on the way here. It was too aggressive, and usually, yeah, this could have been a trade right here, but this was already market close, so not pretty nice. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the market to retrace into that area again and show me the signs that it wants to reverse, and possibly we can go for a lower low. But again, I'm definitely not sure what the volume will be this week, but again, the market is down, so we keep shorting. USD CAD, as you can see, another indecision candle right here at the bottom, and it's just calling for a nice bullish pullback. All right, so I really want to see this, but again, I will not be surprised if we have one more week of consolidation like this. Dropping to the daily time frame, you can see it's been 2 weeks. Yes, we are creating bearish structure. On Friday we had some bullishness, but is it really something to tell us that the market is reversing? Definitely could be, but as you can see, UCAD, one consolidation right here, break. You would think it's going short, yes, but another consolidation right here. We had a little bit of a change of market structure. As you can see, the market failed to make a lower low, and it kind of stepped up a little bit. And right now it seems like we're breaking above. So just on Friday, we had some introduction of bullishness. No trades. I didn't take any trades, guys, on USD CAD. Nothing to show you right here. Possibly break, pullback, possibly a lower high to be traded down. Then we return back, equal lower high to be traded down. Yes, then another one right here. This was FOMC, the spike to the upside. Then we failed to make a lower low. And right now we are introducing the bullish pressure to the upside. So what we can look for, well, potentially a pullback and a confirmed pullback. So where it can take place, I don't know, somewhere around here. But what I want to see is, yeah, there is really no level to actually work with. There is not a broken structure. So something like this, let's say just an average area. Or if you're finding it hard to find an area, just drop your fib. 50%, 61.8 pocket is the perfect for this thing. So let's wait for the market to pull back and to really show us some confirmed buyers. So I really want to see at least 1 or 2 full-hourly candles of rejection, the hourly time frame to reject, and the 15-minute to change. And then I'm gonna try to look for longs if I am trading, but I won't be. So just imagine that we are trading next week. This will be the setup that I will be looking for, and potentially to create a little bit of a bigger pullback, right? The daily is super low. It has to pull back a little bit, and even if I judge from the weekly, we have quite some bit to pull back. Like we can definitely reach for this wick because it hasn't been retested. And if I drop to the hourly, you see how much space and how much pips we have up until that level. So again, let's see what's gonna happen. But again, be careful and don't trade too much next week. USD Swiss franc weekly time frame as well, another bearish candle to the downside after 5 weeks of bearishness. But on the daily time frame, we can see that yes, we started with a little bit of a bearishness, but it has been spikes, small candles, small candles, small candles. They just keep rolling down, but it's just not clear for trading. Like this is your price action that you work with. Yes, it is trending down, but it is not clear. Like, okay, you have that double top, you can trade this one, then you have this kind of lower high, but dropping to the hourly time frame, it's all wicks, like all spikes. Have a look, this big spike, consolidation, spike down, spike back up, consolidation. It's definitely not a structure that I would trade, and I didn't take any trades on this one as well. Right now, like it's even hard to determine where the major structure is, so I would take something like this, a little bit of a bigger zone, because we have that wick, we have this structure, and then we have this spike. And then the market, yeah, kind of created a lower low, and right now we already were in a pullback stage, and the market looks like it wants to reverse. But again, I really want to see a bullish candle on that one. So you can see that the volume is super down right now. The trend is super down, so possibly we can have an indecision candle, something like a UCAD. So let's see what's gonna happen. But if you are to take any longs, guys, I would really advise you to wait for a clear break and a clear higher low being created. All right, don't try to speculate, don't try to catch the bottom. It's definitely not worth it. Just trade with a trend. If you are trading something, go short, and if we have a nice break, retest a confirmed higher low, then possibly we can start changing, but I really doubt if this is gonna happen this year. So let's see. All right, let's have a look at some GBPs, starting from GU. As you can see, a pretty nice bullish candle to the upside. So we thought that we had that fake out, that bearishing off, and that we're gonna have to continue to the downside, but the market just opened and just pushed to the upside. But we managed to get in some shorts. So again, it's gonna be super hard to actually find those setups. I find it super hard when we go live with my team on webinars, and because I'm using right now the 5-minute time frame as well, and it's super hard to find those setups. But as you can see, the market spiking to lows right here. It opened on Monday, kind of wick, but then Tuesday was really strong. That told us, okay, this market is going up for a higher high, and we actually fulfilled that higher high and tapped into 35,500, which was a pretty nice round major area. So as you can see, guys, pretty simple structure in GU. So we had that fake below, Nice introduction of bullishness, pullback. So this is a potentially your higher low formation. But the short that we took was from right here. Why? Because the market was overall starting to trend down. So imagine this price action is not here. And if I even press the replay, we have that lower low. And this can be a potential pullback. So what I did right here is a break-even trade on Monday. So I tried to get in right here a little bit early, and if I jump to the lower time frames, there is a setup right here, but the market was rather consolidative. Let me show you. So right here, yes, I got in from right here at the top, then consolidation, then I got in break even right here. Then the market pushed up and it created another consolidation. What happens when you have a consolidation? Fake and tap into that major time frame area, the full hourly level that I just showed you, and then we had that roll to the downside, but I did not take that trade. I did not take it. It was a pretty nice one because we actually broke structure right here and we went for a beautiful retest and EMA tap, and then it was just like hugging it. So this is one of our best strategies right here. You can nail that to the downside until we reach some sort of a support and resistance or supply and demand area. And then as you can see, the market formed. Let me just exit the replay too. The market formed that higher low and then we exploded to the upside, and there were more setups that were taken, but again, I have to really drop down to the lower time frames right now in order to find it, but I'm not gonna be doing this. But this was like the break-even trade that I had on Monday, and I haven't taken any more trades on GU this week. So again, as you can see, perfectly bullish market. We had that structure right here that was just tapped and the market reacted from it, and we have our higher high. So again, from structural point of view, I want to see how the market is going to react to those two levels. We have our higher low, we have our higher high. The market is currently creating an equal higher low, like a little bit of a deeper pullback, a little bit too bearish, and the hourly time frame was actually starting to shift. And I believe we had some shorts actually on Friday, but as I said, I didn't take any. Here is your yeah, this is actually New York manipulation. Then we spike to the downside to fulfill that level, and then we start to chop around. So this is GU, overall bullish. If we have any break below that structure with a clear close, stay below, then a retracement, then we can definitely start hunting for those lower levels. First target will be this supply and demand area right here. So let's see only if I have a clear break with a close below. But first, the market can push into those levels, fail to break, and then we potentially can have a short setup as well. So I'm calling shorts on GU, but I'm not gonna be trading it this week. So definitely curious to see what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna spend more time actually backtesting the pair. GJ, oh yeah, I remember to say that we have a big gap that hasn't been filled, and this is Oanda. If you go to your to FXCM, there is a gap. This candle is not here, there is a gap, so still we have a gap to be filled. Here it is on GJ, we have that gap that has to be filled right here, and no trades were taken by me on this pair. I just don't like it. I don't like the JPYs right now, rather sloppy, rather choppy, and it's actually super hard to analyze, because where is your higher low, where is your lower highs? Like, yes, I see a major structure level right here, but then I see a minor one right here, and that the market is currently spiking into. So I would actually make this a supply and demand area that the market is stepping into right now, and then I'm gonna drop this higher high. I'm just gonna mark it. So again, here is your range that the market is trading into right now. Very similar to GU. We can push into the highs to grab liquidity. We can even fake out above, or we can just create a higher low formation, and then we can drop to the lows. Or the second opportunity will be a clear break, stay below, pull back, and then we can still drop lower. So let's see what's gonna happen on GJ. Again, I haven't traded this pair for a long time because it's rather choppy, it's rather wicky, and I don't like this. GU is much better. GA gap as well to be filled, just keeps pushing up. Nothing on this market. If I jump on the weekly, what do we have? We have a spike up and then return back to the downside. On the daily, it was actually looking like a nice lower high, and actually when I saw the daily one day, I was like, okay, so this could be a daily lower high, and then we actually ended up pushing down. But then again, what is the structure, guys? Like, starting to push up, then we consolidate, then we roll down a little bit. It's very slow for me, and it's very unclear also. As you can see, that spike above, then we consolidate for a little bit, then we're breaking. So I actually don't like analyzing those pairs right now. GJ, GA, and even Euro GBP. like what is this market doing right now? It's just up, down, strong up, strong down, strong, very strong up, pullback, looks like a higher low. It's failing to break, so this one turns into a lower high right now, and then after the creation of a lower low, it's tapping into supply and demand area, so it fails to break below, and right now it is pulling back. So actually a level that I will be looking for a retest is this wick right here, this indecision candle, supply and demand candle. Then we can push into that level, and then we can potentially reverse as well. But is it really worth it again to be trading this week? Not really, but this can be some sort of a setup that I might expect. But again, if we expect GU to fill the gap to go down, then this one should push up. And it doesn't make sense because this one is a combination of Euro USD and GBP USD, and if they both move up, then this one just consolidates. Hence why I just don't like the GBPs right now. And yeah, except from GU, which is kind of clear, all of those are rather messy, rather wicky. This one just keeps pullbacking and like ranging around, and this one is just keeping up, down, very strong movement. So again, guys, nothing too much on the GBPs. The only pair that I focus right now is GU because it looks much clearer. So let's see how it's going to develop. And again, guys, be careful, really lower your risk, take a break, and do something else rather than trading. Let's have a quick look on gold. As you can see, we had an indecision candle previous week and we expected a potential fall, but again, we have a continuation to the upside. On the daily time frame, we just created a higher low, which seems like to be a higher low right now, right here. 14th of December, just created that higher low, and then we had that nice 3-day push to the upside, actually breaking above that structure and creating a higher high. So right now, it is official. We can drop this as our higher low, and what we can do on gold is we can wait for some sort of a pullback around those areas right here, or EMA tap as well. It would be pretty nice, and then potentially we can continue. And the first target that I'm gonna look for is this level right here, and then potentially from here, if we manage to break above, then potentially gold is gonna turn bullish. But again, DXY is staying super low, and if the DXY starts to pop up, then potentially this one will start to pop down. Still, I was expecting 1750, didn't tap, came super close actually, so I should have bought what I wanted to buy, but I missed it out. So I'm just looking for another leg to the downside right now in order to put more money into the ETF that I'm actually trading. So on gold, currently we are shifting to the upside from the daily time frame actually, and then the 4-hourly time frame is actually, yes, you can see that it's rather sloppy again. Like strong move up, consolidation, strong move up, strong move down, consolidation. But then the daily actually built the whole picture, and you should have been looking for longs right here. But then if you delete that price action, it was pretty difficult to figure out what is happening on gold on the 4-hourly. I was looking like for this head and shoulders as well, like this overall supportive level was failing to break below, but I was like, nah, I'm just not gonna trade this. And then at the end of the day, it ended up pushing up. So right now, this is my outlook on gold. I'm more or less just looking at the daily time frame. So let's see any pullback and potentially continuation up. And as always, wrapping up the video with a little outlook on the indices. Overall bullish week for all of them. Dropping to the daily time frame, it was rather sloppy, rather choppy. As you can see, we open right here, wicks, bullish, wick, little bullish, then another wick down, and potentially continuation. But this is what we're currently trading into, even on the indices, and it's really not nice. It's really not nice, especially for you guys that are trading US 30. I don't know how you're managing potentially on the lower time frames, but I just don't see clear structure in this one. Yes, it's overall up, but it's definitely not clear. So what I spotted right here is this tap of that area. The market nicely reacted right here after a little fake below this area. And right now it seems like it tries to continue. So let's see, like this is our major resistance level. Let's see if this is just a fake above like on Friday, and then if we're gonna continue down below. But overall, this market is going up. So if you do something, make sure to long it if you don't trade counter trend. NASDAQ, sorry. NASDAQ opening on the 14th, just starting to roll up. Push, pullback, little pushes, little pullbacks, little pushes, little pullbacks. So this one should be traded on the hourly because the hourly illustrates the market structure better, a little bit better. Again, I don't trade those things, guys. I just monitor them for my investments and just to knowing when to put more money in. Right now, we're creating a hard high, so it's not a good time to put money because you're buying at a premium. So right now, actually, I will be waiting for a little bit of a pullback, possibly a little bit of a retracement, but again, not trading those ones because the stock market is possibly gonna slow down as well. We're gonna have bank holidays, so again, overall bullish week, but nothing too serious. On S&P 500, I actually have alerts set right before here, but the market never broke below. No, I'm not sure if it's actually here. This is the default. Let me try the daily. Yes, I actually follow another ETF and I have set alert somewhere below right here, but the market keeps pushing up. So I haven't bought any ETFs. I actually put into some stocks, but yeah, keeps pushing up. Overall uptrend. As you can see, this is your most recent higher low formation. The market reacted from it and nicely imposing to the upside, attempting to create another, is it all? Yeah, I think they're all creating all-time highs right now. Yes. So as you can see, overall, we're having a pretty like phenomenal year. After the market dropped, then we actually recovered and we provided even more. Like, have a look, this is a 70% return, like 70% push on S&P 500. So this is major. This is major. So yeah, and this is how I'm gonna wrap up this video, guys. Really, if you were bored, I'm sorry, but there was nothing actually to say. And this is the last analysis that I will be doing for this year, because it doesn't make sense to analyze right now because there is nothing to actually be seen or traded. So as always, if you enjoyed listening and watching, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, leave a little comment. I wish you Merry Christmas, guys. Spend a great time with your families. Again, make sure to work on your trading, make sure to journal, but again, make sure to have a little break as well. I'm gonna have my break at least 1 week, then I'm gonna start preparing for 2021 and we're gonna kick it up. All right, so thank you guys again for watching. Have a great holiday and talk to you in one of my next videos.